Hi, my name is Sharon Polsky, and I am the owner of Unleashed Women's Fitness, and I create health and wellness and weight loss programs for women. And I have teamed up with Udaya.com to bring you some functional training classes. So this is gonna be a little bit different than probably what you guys are used to. This is more of your athletic training. So you want a body like an athlete, you're gonna wanna train like an athlete. And this is how you're gonna get toned. So this is a 20-minute workout. You see a lot of equipment around me. You don't need it all. I just want to give you guys some variety. If you don't have a spin bike at home, you'll see that you can do some floor exercises. I like using jump ropes. I like using boxes. I like using some hand weights, but most importantly, you're gonna need a stopwatch. So, here we go. We're gonna start out of the saddle. This program's gonna start with a little bit of cardiovascular exercise. I like to do intervals when I do my cardiovascular exercise. Heart rate up and heart rate down, but this is the beginning. So we wanna work that heart rate up slowly. So you'll see that Jason and Nikki jogging in place, and you'll see that Zimara and Morgan are using their spin bikes. So you can use either one, it doesn't matter to me. Sit down and go. You'll see that Jason and Nikki are gonna transition into some basic jumping jacks. Now, some people can't even do a jumping jack. We can just take your toe taps out. And if jogging in place is hard for you, you can even do some knee highs. You have lots and lots of options, but this portion is your warm up, and let's get that heart rate going a little bit, slowly but surely. On a scale of 1 to 5, you're at about a 2 or a 3. 1, laying down doing nothing. 5, hardest workout of your life. We're at a 2 or a 3. Out of the saddle, go. So they're gonna transition back to their jogs. This part of the program, just 3 rounds. The other thing you're gonna notice when you go through this program today with me is that Nikki is always gonna give you the beginner's version of everything. Zamara is always gonna give you the intermediate version of everything. Morgan is gonna give you the advanced version. Jason's gonna give you the men's version. Sit down and go. The reason this is important is so husbands and wives, boyfriend and girlfriends, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, moms and dads can all work out together. So any of my programs that are called Get Toned, you're always gonna have 3 levels for the ladies and a men's version offered. So they're into their second round of cardio. They're gonna start working up those heart rates a little bit higher. Now I want them at a 3 out of 5. I know that we are gonna still have 1 more round of this piece of cardio to go, out of the saddle. This is their last minute of cardio before they transition to their boxes. When they transition to their boxes, they're gonna have their boxes and they're gonna have them weights. And we're gonna offer you some new variations of exercises that you're already familiar with. They're at a 3 out of 5. They're working that pace up. They're giving me a little bit more. Jumping jacks, go. And then they sit down on the bikes. Now, sitting down on the bikes is not necessarily a walk in the park. They're not leaning back and they're not resting. They're using their hands to pull. They're using their feet to push. And this way they can keep driving that heart rate up. For some of us, that's really challenging just to sit on the bike. For some of us, it's harder to be out of the saddle because we don't have as good a balance. Switch, they're gonna transition to their boxes. They're gonna start with box jumps, jumping up and coming down. You'll see that Nikki is doing step ups and step downs. If you're doing step ups and step downs where you're 1 foot at a time, remember you gotta go up on 1 foot, then you gotta go up on the other foot. You wanna work both sides equally. Zamara's gonna be hopping up and walking down, and then you're gonna see Morgan is doing full box jumps, getting all her entire foot up on top of there. 1 more, and then we're gonna transition into some box squats. They're gonna grab their weights. Box squats are just like a traditional squat, but here's the thing, you can't cheat, because if you gotta sit down on something, you gotta get your bum all the way down and all the way up. But here's the nice thing about it. If you're a beginner, get a bigger box. I can use a chair in my house and do a box squat every single time. So those choices are yours. You've got a lot of different options here. Now here's the thing. I like to unload every time. So every time I sit down, I lift my feet up. That's how I know I'm not cheating. Because you know, you'll tap that bum and come up and you kind of cheat a little bit. This way you can't do that. They're gonna stay standing on their next set. Then they're gonna give me some shoulder presses. Straight up, straight down. If you have one weight in your hand, it's across the front. If you're a beginner, you might have less weight. And then of course you have your heavier weights if you're more advanced. Here's the important part. Head of the weight directly over the shoulder, and it goes straight up. We will see that weights will go out, straight up and straight down every single time. They're gonna give me 4 more of these. 4, 3 more, 2 more. Now they're gonna combine both exercises together. They're gonna give me that box squat, and then as they stand, they're gonna push those weights high. They're still unloading those feet. So unloading those feet really tells you your bum came all the way down. I really like it, even with my men. Like my men that I train in the gym, I'll grab a weight bench and put it in the squat rack. Let me tell you. And if they don't sit on that bench every single time, guess what I do? They do it over. There have been days that I've made my male clients do 100 of these because they get to number 10 and then they miss a couple. So I just make them keep going until they give me 10 clean ones. Give me 8 more of those, guys. Keep pushing it through. Remember, every time the arms come up, don't arch that back. Belly button into the backbone, stay nice and tall. 2 more. Last one. They're gonna put their weights down. They're gonna grab their jump ropes. Now, this is where we start going from our jump ropes to our burpees. Lots of different versions of burpees. I'm gonna get out of their way so they can jump rope without hitting me. Lots of different options with these jump ropes and burpees. Again, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Jump ropes are great because they are inexpensive. You can get them at almost every sporting goods store or online. And guess what? I'm terrible at jump roping. It's absolutely the hardest exercise that I personally do. And guess what? It's the most effective because I'm so bad at it. I can go for a run, I can jog, my heart rate's kind of normal. You put a jump rope on me, I jump rope like a 9-year-old, it's the hardest thing I'll do. Burpees, go. You'll see that Morgan is giving you a hop and a push-up. You'll see that Samara is hopping back and then hopping forward. You'll see that Nikki is hopping back, but she's walking forward. Lots of different options here. The more power, the more explosion you have, the more benefit you get from that workout every time. Grab those jump ropes, here we go, 30 seconds. These guys are so nice to me, because knowing me, I'll walk right into those jump ropes, so they're doing such a good job of not hitting me. Now here's the thing. If you trip on your jump rope, no big deal, just get started over again. And here's the other thing, if you don't have a jump rope, jog in place, pretend. There's so much benefit in actually just pretending. Also for a lot of people, jump ropes scare them, and that's okay. The jump rope scares you, don't use it. Pretend like you have a jump rope, and you'll get just as much benefit out of it. Switch, burpees, go. On a scale of 1 to 5, they are now at a 3 or a 4. We're at the halfway mark of this class. So they're really trying to get those heart rates up. Here's the benefit of that. Higher the heart rate goes for these cardiovascular pieces, then once they do their weights, they're building muscle, breaking down the muscle tissue, but they're gonna continue to burn fat throughout those pieces. Back jump rope, 30 seconds, last set of these. Great job, you guys. I really love it when all my friends get to come and work out with me. They make it look so easy. So remember, this is their last section of jump roping. You're gonna start to see them get a little fatigued. You're gonna start to see them fade just a little bit, and that's okay. That's what you want. I want you to always find your edge. Find your edge every single time. Burpees, go, last set of burpees. Here's the other thing. You might have started advanced at the beginning of this section, You might be beginner by the time you get to round 3. That's okay. And eventually, you'll be able to get to 3 rounds of advanced. But when you get in that moment where you start to give up, just dig deep and find that place. Find what motivates you. It can't just be some weak motivation, you just want to look better. That never works. You have to have really valid reasons why you wake up in the morning and why you do the things that you do. I want you to find that place where you are uncomfortable every single time. The minute you become uncomfortable is when the body changes. Break. We are back to our box jumps. You'll see that there's some repeat exercises in here. You'll see that there are some new exercises in each of the rounds. I like doing box jumps because you get a good booty from doing those box jumps. They have 15 more seconds on these box jumps. You'll even see that Jason is walking down. This is really a great modification, especially if your knees start to get a little sore within your box jumps. You can step off the box. For a lot of, especially these big guys, when they jump down, that gravity pulling down in their knees, quite hard for them. So they can hop up and they can walk down. You can also change the height of your box if you're one of these men to make it a little bit more challenging. We're gonna transition to lunges. You're gonna see a beginner's version, just a stationary lunge. She's gonna do 15 on one leg, switch to the other side, 15 on the other. You're gonna see that Zamara alternating those forward lunges. You're gonna see that Morgan is gonna alternate those step back lunges. Those are your modifications. Pick what works for you. They're gonna give me 30 seconds of these exercises. And again, Jason's giving you the male versions. You can grab one weight, you can grab 2 weights, you can do one leg at a time, you can do both legs and alternate. Those choices are yours. Give me 15 more seconds. Do not give up on me, you guys. You are almost there. So this is section number 3. You only have one more section to go. That's the good news after this. Body tall. You want to try not to lean. When you do a lunge, you never want that front knee to go past your shoelaces. You want a lot of weight in that front heel. We're gonna stop. We're gonna transition into bicep curls. Bicep curls. Now, you may do alternating bicep curls. You'll see that Morgan is carrying a heavier weight, so she's gonna alternate. Zamara's carrying a smaller weight, so she might do 2 hands, and then when she gets tired, change to alternating. You'll see that Nikki can use 2 smaller weights, or show them with 1 weight. Nikki can actually grab 1 weight. 2 hands on a 10-pound weight means it's 5 pounds in each hand. So that makes it a little bit easier for her, so the exercise becomes more accessible for your fitness level. Great job, you guys. Combine that with your lunges. Bicep curl with lunges. Bicep curl with lunges. Great job. It doesn't matter if you do the bicep curl at the base of your lunge or at the top of your lunge. Totally up to you. Some people's coordination is different. And to me, that's the most important thing, is that you do what's best for you. They're gonna give me 10 more seconds on this exercise. Now they're gonna transition to their last piece of cardiovascular exercise. You can use an aerobic step or just boxes that you have handy. You can, or even use your steps within your home. I'm gonna borrow your box. You can even use your steps that are at your house. They're just gonna step up on the right, step up on the left. They may jog up, step down. They may do all 1 foot for half and do all the other foot for the other half, or they may jog it up and jog it down. They're gonna show you lots of different versions for this. You pick the version that is right for you each and every time. They're gonna give me 10 more seconds on this. The goal, the heart rate comes up. Now, 3rd round of cardio, you're giving me a 4 out of 5. It's your 4 out of 5, not mine. I don't tell you how hard you work. You find your edge that day. Did you get 8 hours of sleep? I don't know. Have you drank a gallon of water? I don't know. Are you eating healthy? I don't know. It's your edge, not mine. We're gonna transition into some jump squats. Again, the heart rate starts coming up. For some of us, we may not be able to do that. We may just be coming down. You may have a little hop. You may have a big hop. You might get big and explosive like Jason. Again, that choice is yours. And guess what? Try something new. Just because you think that you are a beginner, you are not necessarily a beginner. Try what Zamara's doing, even if you think you're a beginner. Don't pigeonhole yourself into one mode of exercise. You can find something new that's appropriate for you. Transition back to steps. One on the right, one on the left. Heart rate's coming up. 4 out of 5, each and every time. Keep digging in for me. You're gonna see that Jason's box is quite high. Even though he's tall, he's gonna slow down. And that's okay. He can go a little bit slower and still achieve the same thing Morgan's achieving by having a faster pace. And then they just always need to remember to do both sides. You want to use both sides evenly. You can do 15 seconds and 15 seconds. Switch, jump squats. So jump squats is in our plyometrics. Such a great exercise. Really helps build the glutes. Really helps strengthen the abs. Helps bring that heart rate up. Give me a 4 out of 5 here. 4 out of 5, you guys. And the whole time, you are finding your edge, you're creating your edge, and you're giving me everything you've got, each and every time. You can't want an athlete's body and not be willing to train like an athlete, let me tell you. Let's go back to those step-ups, one on the right and one on the left, 30 seconds, go. I always find it interesting. When I ask people what body they want, when they come to me, they say, oh, I love this gymnast's body. And I love this track runner's body. And I'm like, okay, you and I are gonna go to the gym one day. I was a professional acrobat. I traveled all over the world. I trained like a gymnast for most of my life. Well, guess what? You might want the body of a gymnast, but you might not want to work at that level. That's okay. But I would alter your goal slightly. Your goal and your lifestyle, they have to be synergistic. They have to match up. If you don't want to work at that level, that's okay. But let's alter the goal and make it something that's super achievable for you. Here we go, switch. Jump squats, get them done. Last 30 seconds of cardio. Last 30 seconds of cardio. Last 30 seconds. You've got this. 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. You should be able to feel that heart rate come up. A lot of people, when the heart rate starts to come up, they stop. We don't stop when the heart rate comes up. We drive through that heart rate each and every time. We're gonna go back to our box jumps. Back to our box jumps. So remember, you've got your beginner, intermediate, and advanced version, male version of your box jumps. You're always welcome to step down. Even if you are absolutely advanced, it's hard on your knees to hop down. You don't always have to hop down. You might do a couple hopping down and feel, it's not quite right for my knees. Step down. You might do a few hopping up and then say, whew, I gotta transition to not stepping up anymore. Grab those weights. Feet are hips width apart, heel behind the middle toe. Outside edges of those feet are parallel to the outside edges of the rope. Grabbing the weights, placing them on the front of the legs, slight bend in the knees, find the hip hinge. Lead with the chest, all the way down right below the knees, right back up. Now, when you come up, do not push your hips forward. Stand tall, all the way down and all the way up. Deadlifts, you're gonna give me 30 seconds, go. You're gonna see Morgan is quite strong. She is more advanced. She's gonna go a little lower. But the thing is, her weights are close to her body. Those weights being close to the body are very important. We don't want the weights to come away and to start sagging through the back. We're gonna lead with the chest all the way down and all the way up. They're gonna hold. They're gonna bend. They're gonna pull. Squeezing through those shoulder blades each and every time. Now, when we start to combine multiple exercises, these are your compound movements. Really efficient way to train. Hey, here's the best part of it. We're on our last minute of this workout. So see, it's really easy to get to the end when you know how far you gotta push yourselves. They're gonna give me 4 more seconds here. They're gonna stand up. They're gonna combine 2 movements and go down, pull, down, stand up, that's 1, down, pull, down, stand up, that's 2. I want you to feel these exercises. What muscles are you trying to work? We're working the glutes, we're working the hamstrings. Of course, we're working the back, working the core, and then we're squeezing through those shoulder blades each and every time. They're gonna dig in for me. They have about 4 more seconds to go. Last one. Weights down, hands in the air. Those are your functional training basics. My name is Sharon Polsky. This is udiet.com. And wait, do not forget to stretch. You can download a stretching video on udiet.com or do your favorite stretches. You might learn some from some of our other videos. But thank you so much for following us on udiet.com.